What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and here it is. F1 2019 has finally become available to some in Australia who pre-ordered. I think this is the Legends edition, I'm not 100% sure, but this came live about half an hour ago, and I've managed to put some film together and do some recording just to post it up there. But here it is. This is my first run on the game. It's just a Grand Prix race, 25%. Paul Ricard driving as Lewis Hamilton, one-shot qualifying, all that jazz, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, let's get into it. Right, so we're on the grid here in Paul Ricard. As the lights come on, P4 on the grid behind the two Ferraris and my teammate, and I botched the start horrendously because for some reason the button I allocated for the clutch was not clutching. So that's not gone well at all. As we come into the first corner, we're pretty much going to keep our nose out of trouble because all of the trouble overtook us on the start. But this is going to be a fight back through the field now, so, you know, maybe we might be able to see some excitement here at Paul Ricard. Coming under the rear wing now of Kvyat, and we do have a little bit of front wing damage from one of the cars. I think I had a bit of contact in turn 4 or something, down the inside of Lance Stroll, but I think he's going to hold us off on the inside, and Kvyat's back up there as well, side by side. That's George Russell coming up on our right hand side, and we are in the tow, but we're kind of boxed in, so I'm going to have to kind of back out a fraction bit and see what concurs there, but they are two abreast through that corner. That is awesome. The AI really doing some stunning driving so far. But from all that, P17 stuck behind George Russell. They're still side by side. Lance Stroll and Danny Kvyat. Definitely. Yeah, well, obviously I know. You think I don't know that's the start we were looking? No, that's 100% the start I was looking for. I want the clutch to not work. That's my goal. That's my life dream. Clutches not working is a thing. And where was I going there? I had about 8k's worth of track to the right, and I went left. Well, this has been a fantastic start to F1 2019. This is looking brilliant for me. It's going to be lit. We got a fantastic exit out of turn 1 and 2. We've got a small overlap on Russell. We're going to be brave on the brakes and take P16. Let the fight begin. And coming up now to the final couple of corners, we're kind of starting to get a little bit of a queue here. We've got a Giovinazzi, Norris, Stroll, Kvyat, and a couple of cars up further up the front. Look, I think, judging by the minimap, Kimi Räikkönen might be at the start of that. I'm not 100% sure. But we're going to go to the right-hand side of Kvyat into turn 1. And not quite brave enough there, keeping our nose out of trouble. But we've got a pretty good exit out of turn 2. And we might have him here into 3. Brave on the brakes, around the outside. We'll have the inside for the next corner, but he's still there, right around the outside. AI being very aggressive. I've gone very, very wide, and I've just handed it back to him. The platter was silver, and he took it straight out of my hands. Turn the ERS, a little bit wide there. DRS open. His DRS is open as well, but look at the straight line speed difference. Going to the left-hand side, and, well, no Daniel Ricciardo's here, but he's still there. Still keeping his nose in it. We've finally got the move done, but it's taken us about 5 or 6 corners and an entire back straight to do it. So far, loving the aggression of the AI. This is awesome stuff. Around the outside of Stroll here. Okay, bye. Awesome move. It's a great racetrack. This is a really cool racetrack. Where's the DRS? There it is. Still kind of struggling to figure out the layout of all the buttons. I might not have gone to all of the settings. I'm not 100% sure at this point. But we've got a Giovinazzi and a Lando Norris in front of us, and we're looking to make moves. It's lap 4 of 13. I definitely found that I had to really play around with the ERS a lot more. As I said, I did do a back-to-back race here with another car in the previous game, And even still with the previous game, I felt like, well, you know, the way I drive, I didn't really have to adjust the ERS too much, you know, to be consistent with it. You know, mainly mainly because it was on like 0% difficulty, and I was just having a little bit of fun. But you know, for the last few laps, I was trying to go really hard, and I just left it on number 2, and it was just sort of stable. But I'm definitely finding with this game, leaving it on number 2 is just not going to have it. It's really just depleting quickly. And yeah, because I was watching some review videos, and I was watching like Tiamat Marduk, and he said exactly the same thing. He was saying that he thinks that it's probably, you get around 30% more usage out of it, and I totally agree with him. There's definitely more ERS usage in this game than there was in the previous game, that's for sure. We're going to box on this lap in P13 out of 20, and into the pits, first stop on the box. The other thing I noticed about this game as well is they didn't model in the new entrance to the pit lane, because the entrance this year, you go in just out of the penultimate corner there, but this is still the same as last year's version of the car. Not sure if they're gonna update it, or if it's gonna come in a patch. I'm not really sure how that works, to be quite frank with you, but it'd be good if they could do something just to fix that a little bit up. Otherwise, you know, I'm not knocking it or anything like that, but you know, I just noticed that and I thought it was a little bit strange. But we've got a fresh set of tyres now, so we're going to push. We want to make some positions up. I think we were P13 just as we came into the pits, so hopefully we can get a good run here. There was a big group of cars in front of us just before we boxed, so hopefully we can jump a couple of those cars. Still going wide around that corner. Really need to get a grip and a handle on what's going on with this car. Moving on now to the end of the lap, a massive gaggle of cars have boxed, and we are P13 once again. So we haven't really managed to jump anyone as it stands. We've got a Romain Grosjean just ahead of us as he's just exited the pits. He's got a fresh set of boots as well, coming through the first couple of corners. T4, they've also got these little marker boards for the corner numbers on the inside of each turn, I noticed as well, which is fantastic for me, because majority of the time I have absolutely no idea where I am on the track. I'm hopeless at that. DRS wide open, we turn the RS to overtake, and we are just hauling in the Ferrari powered Haas. We move to the left hand side rather aggressively, hard on the brakes, and we shut the door and just get the move done into the chicane at the end of the straight, and Sebastian Vettel is next up the road. Alright, so now that the second stoppers have come into the pits, we've got Pierre Gasly just in front of us in the Red Bull as we set the fastest lap of the race. The DRS is wide open. He's going to move to the left into turn 1. We're not going to get the job done there, but that's okay. I'm happy to stick behind him and pick up the second detection point for the back straight. And he's got a bit of a shocker of an exit. The toe is just so powerful. This car, every car I've overtaken on the back straight, you know, I just seem to come from such a long way away. Not sure if it's just this car in particular, or the toe and the DRS are just really, really powerful in this game, but it just makes such a big difference. We are miles behind Gasly at the moment, but even before the DRS point, you can see we're closing the gap, and DRS open and aggressively to the right hand side, and we just sail past Pierre Gasly just before the chicane. Probably a good 100 metres before the braking zone, we were in front. Lap 8 of 13, P5, not a bad get-go. I think we were P16 by the end of the first sector on the first lap, so P5 is a pretty half-decent recovery, I suppose, for the first try of this game. And well, for me, this is definitely more exciting than what I stayed up till about 1 o'clock in the morning for on Sunday. But yeah. Alright, so I'm just going to skip on forward to the last lap of the race. Yeah, absolutely nothing happened. I was unable to catch the cars in front. Carrying that little bit of wing damage, I just, after a couple of laps, was struggling with the tyres, struggling with the car. As you can see, I'm all over the shop, struggling to get the car turned in. And Gasly was inside me for basically the whole time. Up until now, this lap, He's not as close to me as he was for the last couple of laps. But yeah, so I'm going to shut up and let you guys listen to the car for the rest of the lap, and I'll come back to you when this is all over.
There's only one lap of fuel remaining.
So there you go, P4 finish. Not a bad comeback considering we were down in P16 for, well, after the first two corners, I think, off the line basically. We were almost plumb last. So that's not a bad recovery drive considering we were carrying wing damage as well. But yeah, as I said, just towards the end of the lap there, towards the end of the race, I just, ran out of tyres, ran out of grip, ran out of pace, and just had pressure from Gasly from behind for pretty much the whole thing. So Sebastian Vettel takes the victory, and I believe Charles Leclerc came second. My teammate Bottas was third, and there's a very chappy Sebastian Vettel. Been a long time since we've seen him like that. So there you go, F1 2019. Awesome game, fantastic. There'll be plenty more racing action from myself. I'm thinking about doing a career mode. We'll have all the F2 cars and everything like that, but there'll be a few more gameplay videos with a couple of the classic cars and probably some F2 cars as well before we get into that. So thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you want to see plenty more racing action from yours truly, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be seeing you all very soon. Thanks again. I'll catch us.
Well, Ants, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone.